Yo, keep the faith, never lose hope. What's going on, faithfuls? We're live on all major platforms: YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch, and Facebook. All right, and of course, we are back with a fun-filled episode of the Faithful Empire that's powered by the Red and Gold 24/7. All right, so if it's your first time here, please go ahead and hit the like subscribe button and turn on all notifications. All right, so basically, and I'm gonna do my plugs real quick, and I'm bringing ladies and gentlemen in here. Of course, you can catch Mav on the Convo with Maverick Cato, his Twitter handle, and that's times on Tuesday nights on YouTube and IG. And of course, That Narrow Life with Coach Ron, they're the times on Monday nights, YouTube and Twitter. And of course, yes, my son's gonna bother me, of course. He always does. There you go. There you go. And of course, because Drewski on his Bias D podcast, which is coming soon, has his Twitter handle. All right. And of course, I'm going to come to other guys now. GM Mikey, that's his Twitter handle. All right. They're all great guys. They're all great guys. And of course, TJ, that's his Twitter handle. All right. And of course, we got Denise. There you go. And of course, Gavin. And I know you. I'll let you do yours. Right? I'll let you do Michael. As soon as I'm done, we'll do a little plug. Right? Of course, you catch Paul Hope on the 495 for UK Club 85, and of course Nick Cork. That's Shank Club NFL. That's Twitter handle. It's times on Saturdays, and basically all the ones I just pronounced you, they're actually taking some time off because of the off season. It's slowed up right now. But yes, I wanted to keep this going, no matter what. But the Red and Gold, I just got word today that Red and Gold 24/7 will be back in a couple of weeks. As soon as everything flows apart and training comes up, we'll have a lot more content to talk about. All right. So, matter of fact, and of course, next to me over here, we got Denise, and of course, down there, Gavin.
What's up, guys?
Course, right here. Yeah, Michael, do your thing, man. Everybody there follow you at and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can let them know where you follow you at and everything. Let them know who you are and go ahead.
I am the voice of Chicago sports talk. I am.
Okay. So basically, yeah, Gavin went out and found him. He asked me if, bring Chicago Bears fan here. Like, why the hell not? I know why, because our first game's in Chicago. We might as well.
Let's go.
So it'll be fun. It'll be fun. I think it'll be really fun. So, yeah, guys, basically the first thing we're going to talk about is the fatigue. I guess arm fatigue. I guess what we're talking about. Yeah. So, go ahead, Denise, ladies first. Maybe don't you drinking? Go right ahead. No pressure.
Right, everybody drinking their coffee. Well, Denise is because she's in Arizona and it's early over here. Well, it's early for Denise because she doesn't wake up early. Not a morning person. But anyway, that's beside the point. That's not what we're talking about. So, I think it's all BS. It's like according to Colin and Mike Silver, their sources in quotation marks are saying that Trey Lance has arm fatigue. He can't throw for days, after. But what's funny is when they were having training camp, you saw him out there throwing the ball, and like it was one day after another. You also saw him practicing with Brandon Ayuk. They were out there every day. So for someone who has arm fatigue and can't throw, he seems to be working out an awful lot. So what I don't understand is why someone who played literally two games, is getting as much hate as Trey Lance is. I have never seen a quarterback ever get as much hate as Trey Lance is getting. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Like this kid is getting more hate than anybody. Like none of the rookie quarterbacks did well. None of them. They all did poorly, and none of them are being hated on like Trey Lance is being hated on. It's flipping ridiculous. I mean, people are acting like Jimmy Garoppolo is like the next thing since sliced bread. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like, people, you're talking like Colin Cowherd and Silver are talking like Trey Lance is replacing Joe Montana. Like, what are we talking about? Like, come on. Like, again, Jimmy Garoppolo is not as bad as we all think, and Jimmy Garoppolo is not as great as we all think. Jimmy Garoppolo is average. He is absolutely average. He is going to be the best bridge quarterback available. That's exactly what Jimmy Garoppolo is. It's it. Like, I don't get it. Like, I don't understand why this kid is getting all this hate. Like, I just don't understand. Like, I don't get it. That's my take. Sorry. That's it. That's all I got to say. Not unless someone says something else that fires me up. Go ahead.
Okay, Gavin, you can do that. You can do that, Gavin. Go ahead.
To be honest now, right, it's hashtag topic fatigue for me. It is. I've just heard so much about it in the last couple of weeks, and like Denise said, it sounds like BS to me. It does. It's because they haven't got anything to talk about during the off season, so they're grasping at straws to make stories, and it's just Cobb's wallop. I think it is. At the end of the day, we're going to see it week 1 against the Bears when his arm comes out fine. There'll be no arm fatigue again. It'll just be bang, darts all day long. It will, right? And I cannot wait. I cannot wait to see him come out and prove the haters wrong, because he has been getting a lot of hate because the Jimmy G stands are still out there. Let's all move on from Jimmy. Jimmy G's got to go. He's got to go now. Let's get him off the books so we can start paying people, right? And let's see Captain Trade Day happen, and let's just see him cook, because he's going to cook this league on fire, right? There's no arm fatigue. It's lies. Don't believe the hype.
Exactly. Amen.
What do you think, Michael?
If you go watch my pre-draft video in 2021, I had the Bears getting Trey Lance because I didn't think we were going to get Justin Fields. I think Trey Lance will be a good quarterback. Don't get me wrong, because if I didn't think he was a good quarterback, I would have never had the Bears taking him. I would have had the Bears probably taking Mac Jones or Kyle Trask or Davis Mills. But the point is that the thing about Trey Lance is when he started for the 49ers in the 2 games against the Cardinals, and I will admit that he wasn't used right against the Cardinals, but the Texans, you did see a couple flashes. You know, he should have had like 3 interceptions, but 2 of them were dropped. But I'll count the first one. The first one wasn't his fault. I think it was named what was the wide receiver that couldn't catch the ball? I think his name was like Kelvin Benjamin.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
He basically caught the ball, muffed up, and went into the defender's hands. The 2 drop interceptions, you could say, were probably Trey's fault, but a lot of the rookie quarterbacks have had interceptions that were on them. None of the rookie quarterbacks, besides Mac Jones, but Mac Jones was in a perfect system, was in a great system. Outside the rookie quarterbacks, I mean, Mac Jones was inconsistent a lot in those games. All the quarterbacks, Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, Justin Fields, and Mac Jones, they really did not show any of their college levels because it's their first season. So I wouldn't be surprised if the second year we see their flashes from they were in college.
Michael, have you ever heard the words arm fatigue used to describe a quarterback before?
No.
So why are we hearing about it now? If it's this big a deal, right? Why are we hearing about it for now?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, and he's right. Like, Justin Fields struggled, and Justin Fields looked amazing in college. You know, like Trevor Lawrence has been touted as being Andrew Luck. He was supposed to be the next coming of Christ, and he looked like crap. You know, now granted, he plays for the Jaguars, so what do you expect? You know, I mean, you can only do so much. I get it. But you know, all these quarterbacks, like, they did not look great. Like, none of them looked great. They, like Michael said it best, they all had flashes. Like, you saw flashes, like Justin Fields had flashes. Trevor Lawrence had flashes. The Jets, his name is flying right
Zach
out of my
Wilson.
head. Thank you. Zach Wilson had flashes. Like, they all had flashes. Even Macaroni Jones had flashes. God help me. Ugh.
Davis Mills.
Like,
Yeah.
Davis. I'm not going to lie. I didn't honestly watch a lot of Davis Mills, so I can't even really speak to Davis Mills a lot. I heard that he had flashes, but I didn't honestly watch him.
He had a couple of big games. Yeah, he had a couple of big games.
Yeah. So, but I heard he had flashes too. So, I mean, like, they all had their moments, but like, it's like they're rookies for a reason. Like, every quarterback is going to go through their bumps, bruises, whatever. And, the one thing, you could see it from Justin Fields, you could see it from Trey Lance, you could see it from every single quarterback. What did you see? You saw growth. And if you're a quarterback if you're a coach or you're a fan of those teams, that's all you wanted to see. Right, Michael? I mean, like, as a Bears fan, isn't that what you wanted to see from Justin Fields, was growth?
Yeah, and I didn't even mention the 2020 quarterback class. Joe Burrow showed promise, but the next year he took his team all the way to the Super Bowl with no offensive line. That offensive line was the short. It was so bad. Justin Herbert, one rookie of the year, and the following year I think he was top 3 in passing touchdowns. I think he was top 3 in that. I might have to check. But the only 2 quarterbacks from that class have yet to expand is Tua Tagovailoa, and Jordan Love was yet to. Well, he did start for the Packers, but I don't think he's going to start anytime soon with Aaron Rodgers. But as far as Justin Fields goes, even though the quarterbacks sucked, they did show flashes in their rookie season. I mean, Trevor Lawrence, he looked good the last game against the Colts. Zach Wilson, towards the end of the season, showed flashes against, like, one of the games against the Jaguars. You saw that 50-yard rushing touchdown he had. That was very great that he was able to. I didn't even think Zach Wilson was capable of having a 50 rushing touchdown. Justin Fields against the 49ers, against the Steelers, against the Packers. Justin Fields also showed like flashes. Mac Jones, despite how we think of him, he had a couple flashes, and he took his team to the playoffs despite what they get. They got blown out, but Mac Jones showed some flashes along the way. Trey, however, despite having 2 starts, the only game I could say which was his best game was against the Texans.
Yeah. Well, and we have to remember too, like, as far as I'm concerned, Mac Jones, he actually did land in the perfect spot for his skill set. Like, Mac Jones, the reason I did not want Mac Jones is because Mac Jones is basically Jimmy Garoppolo 2.0. That's who Mac Jones is. Mac Jones is short yardage. Like, he doesn't have a big arm. He doesn't have a lot of upside, but he's very cerebral. He's going to make the throw. You know what I mean? He's going to do exactly what the coach wants. Like, he's going to make those throws, but it's going to be the dink and dunk game, and take the ball down the field. That's what Bill Belichick liked. So Mac Jones landed in the perfect spot for his
I just want to piggyback off that as well, and what CEO said in the chat, right, and say that Trey Lance could possibly have fallen to either one of the 2 top places to fall to. He could have been at the Bears, he could have been at the Jaguars, but instead he's with Kyle Shanahan and he's at the 49ers, which is a much better place to be, I think. Do you mean arguably than Mac Jones? Mac Jones maybe fell at the best place for him, but do you mean I hopefully now Trey Lance will develop better in San Francisco than he would at those other places. What also fascinates me as well is how the quarterbacks are going to develop, and there was a lot of arguments last season at the beginning in the off season last year about whether we should start Trey Lance last year and whether it's better for his development to sit a year or to play. And we're going to see this week 1 when Justin Fields lines up against Trey Lance. And we're going to see whether it was better to sit him for a year, right, and let him learn the playbook Do you mean? Or put him out under fire like Justin Fields was. So I'll be interested to see how that develops as well, and see how Trey Lance develops from the Texans
I'm
game.
interested.
First game of
I'm
the season.
interested. Sorry, I'm interested to see what Michael thinks about that. Were you happy that they started him right away?
That they started Fields right away.
Yes.
No, not with that offensive line.
But was you happier towards the end of the season? As the season got on, was you happier that you started him, or do you wish that you sat him for a year like Trey Lance has been?
Even though I was worried about him behind that offensive line, that he showed some flashes, and I also want to point out something that CEO said. You do know quarterbacks can succeed with a defensive coordinator, right? You know, Justin Fields you may have a defensive coordinator, but if you look at many of these rookie quarterbacks that have a defensive coordinator, I could say most of them that have a defensive coordinator have succeeded. Look at Lamar Jackson. Look at Justin Herbert. Look, I'm trying to think of another quarterback that has a defensive. Mac Jones. He had Bill Belichick as his.
Bill Belichick was a special teams. He was a special teams coach first, mate. Special teams coordinator. He wasn't defensive. He was special teams.
But the only thing that matters is that you have a very good offensive coordinator, and I'm very confident in Luke Getsy, and he's going to be calling the plays from Justin Fields. It's going to be the shotgun offense that he wanted to do in Penn State, but that's why he went to Ohio State, and Ohio State had the great system for Justin Fields.
Gotcha. What's up, CEO? What's up? What's going on? That's so true. I know Kyle Shanahan can develop Trey. He can. I know he can.
But he's never developed a quarterback before, though, has he?
Yeah, it's his first time in his career. First time in his career.
First time. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle Shanahan better develop the quarterback, because I got his back, and if he makes me eat my words, I'm never going to forgive him.
His job depends on it. If he doesn't develop Trey and Trey flops, then their jobs could be intertwined. Shanahan's and Trey Lance's. I think.
Gavin, his life depends on it, okay?
Yeah.
His life depends on it, because Denise supports him, so his life depends on it.
Yeah, we're all Shannon fans. I'm a Shannon fan too.
Just kidding.
I'd rather have Shanahan than Matt Nagy, that's for sure.
Dude, okay. I'll take the worst play card you can think of over Matt Nagy.
Yeah, at least you're honest about it, my friend. So, what don't you like about what do you hate most about Matt Nagy? What's his weakest points? What's his weak points, Matt Nagy's? What do you hate about
his post game interviews right after the game? He always keeps saying we need to figure out the whys we lost the game and figure out the whys we can do better. We've been trying to figure out the whys since you started we've been trying to figure out the whys since you couldn't develop our offense for the past 3 years, and all you've been doing is making it mediocre at best. If you look at the Bears' stats from last year, they were dead last in passing the ball, but they were only good at running the game, which there were a couple games where Matt Nagy abandoned the run game and tried to do his little plays that he had in Kansas City when he had Alex Smith, and that was not a very good system for Justin Fields. But with Luke Getsy, with shotgun first offense, I feel like Justin Fields will improve in the shotgun offense. It's kind of similar to the same system that he had in Ohio State, and pretty much with Nagy, he pretty much did a lot of curl routes, a lot of wide receiver screen passes. Like you know when the Chiefs had Alex Smith, they did all those bootleg curl routes. That's basically that's basically what they try to do with Justin Fields, and you saw how Justin Fields can throw that. Justin Fields throws the ball. He has a great deep ball percentage, in my opinion. He has a very great arm, in my opinion, and we didn't see that last year. We rarely saw that because Nagy wanted to make him more of an Alex Smith type of quarterback.
Yeah, no, Justin Fields, like I said, Justin Fields is really talented. Like before the draft, like I said, I'm not ashamed to admit it. Like that's my picks were Justin Fields is who I wanted them to draft, and then after that it was Trey Lance. Like that's Justin Fields was my initial pick, and I honestly, when I saw the pictures of him and Kyle Shanahan, that's who I thought we were picking. I was shocked when we didn't pick Justin Fields. I was shocked.
I was shocked.
I was shocked. That's
Justin Fields as well. Yeah.
I thought we were picking Justin Fields. I was like blown away when they said Trey Lance. I was like, wait, what? I was like, okay. But I was excited because I was like, right on, whatever. I'm like, ooh. As long as it wasn't Matt, that's all I cared about. I was like I said before, I was holding my Buddha doll in one hand and my other my St. Jude in the other hand, and I was rubbing them both, and I was like, no Macaroni Jones, no Macaroni Jones, no Macaroni Jones. I was just praying. I was like, please, God, please, no, no, no. I just did not want him.
If you took Mac Jones, you'd be like, you better pray that Jimmy stays healthy because if he gets injured, you are 50 shades of screwed.
Ugh, God. I honestly, if Kyle would have drafted him, I would have lost all faith in Kyle. Like, and I am a huge Shanna stan. I would have lost so much faith in Kyle. I would have been like, Kyle, no. You do not trade up to number 3 to draft that. That is not what you do. Like, oh my God.
Look at CEO firing shots. Nice. I like that. I had Lance above Lawrence on my draft board. Hopefully he'll prove me right. Yes. CEO,
I have a feeling if Trevor was drafted to a right team like the Cowboys, he would be a Pro Bowler right now. I mean, just think about it first. He would have had great weapons to work with, and he would have a good play caller in Kevin Moore. He literally went to Jacksonville where he had the worst head coach in history, Urban Meyer.
Yeah.
And basically only had DJ Shark, who was injured most of the year. I know someone's happy about picking up DJ Shark, and I'm like, dude, you're really happy that you picked up an injury-prone.
Didn't he have loads of weapons in college as well? Trevor Lawrence did. I'm not up to date on college football, but didn't he have a load of weapons around him as well?
Yes, Clemson is very known for having talent.
Yeah, see that? So, but it's tough when you go from like being the winning guy, you winning it all, top of your class, and then you got to go to like the bottom of the division, Jaguars, and try and get that to win that franchise out of the rock bottom pit that they're in, and he can't do it on his own, obviously.
Oh no, absolutely, yeah. Like, oh no, don't get me wrong. I'm stoked that we got Trey Lance. I'm super happy that Trey Lance is our quarterback. Like, and I think he is going to be a stud. Like, no doubt in my mind. Like, all this Trey Lance hate is ridiculous in my opinion, and I think he is definitely going to take us to the promised land. And I think he is 200% an upgrade over Jimmy Garoppolo. And people who think he's not are ridiculous.
I agree, Denise. I agree totally.
Yeah, I think Trey Lance will be promising, but it will take a few games for him too. Because if you go look at my channel, which is Chicago Sports Talk Michael, I had this content creator who's a Bears fan. He said that Trey Lance is still technically a rookie because he only started 2 games, so he's going to look raw the first game against the Bears. And I think every 49ers fan can agree that he probably will look raw the first game of the season. And that's why Kyle Shanahan is probably going to play it safe, run the ball. It's going to be run, pass offense, a run, pass offense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that honestly, that's Kyle, even with Jimmy. That's Kyle. Kyle is a run the ball coach. Like, that's who Kyle is. Kyle loves to run the ball. Like, that's who Kyle is. Like, Kyle is going to run the ball regardless of who his quarterback is. It doesn't matter who the quarterback is. Kyle loves to run the ball. So, Kyle, that's his offense regardless of who the quarterback is. But is Trey Lance, that's what I keep telling everyone. Trey Lance is going to look raw. Trey Lance is going to make mistakes. So for 49er fans who think Trey Lance is going to come out and be perfect, they're going to be very upset because he's not going to be perfect. He's definitely not going to be perfect.
So
He's going to make mistakes.
I want to tell you something that people have been mentioning about on Rumble's show. They're saying that the caller before me said, mark my words, we're going to the Super Bowl with Trey Lance this year. I mean, like, here's the difference from when Patrick Mahomes started to when Trey Lance started. Patrick Mahomes had Andy Reid. You know, Andy Reid is known for making quarterbacks look good. Look what he did to Alex Smith. Look what he did to McNabb. And Mahomes is the best quarterback in the league. Where you go to Kyle, I think we all can agree that Andy Reid is better than Kyle Shanahan.
I agree and I disagree. I think the only difference between Kyle Shanahan and Andy Reid is Andy Reid has 10 times more experience than Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah.
I think Andy Reid is a great coach. Don't get me wrong. I would love to have Andy Reid as a coach because I think Andy Reid's a great coach. But it took Andy Reid 50 years to get to a Super Bowl. 50 years. 50. So people who sit there and say, oh, Andy Reid's the best thing since sliced bread. Yeah, Andy Reid's a great coach. But I don't care what anyone says. If you don't have a great quarterback, you aren't winning the Super Bowl. It's that simplistic. People can say whatever they want. If you do not have a great quarterback in this league, you might make it to the Super Bowl, but you aren't winning it. Because, I don't know, let's look at the Rams. Sean McVay's a good coach. Look what Sean McVay had ding dong in Detroit, and he went to the Super Bowl. They lost. And, now he has Matt Stafford. They went to the Super Bowl. They won. It's like, I'm telling you, it's you have to have both. You have to have a good coach and you have to have a great quarterback if you want to win the Super Bowl. And I mean, you have to have all of it. You basically have to have the whole pie. You've got to have all of it. I mean, I will say one thing for Andy Reid is he can overcome a poor defense because Andy Reid never seems to have a good defense. So I will give Andy Reid that, is he can overcome a bad defense. I will give Andy Reid that credit. But the one again, you're talking to someone who loves Kyle Shanahan, so you got to keep that in mind. I think the only difference between the two is Kyle Shanahan doesn't have the experience that Andy Reid has. Kyle Shanahan is a young head coach. So does Kyle Shanahan have a lot to learn? Of course he does. But, I would not necessarily say that Andy Reid is far and above like Kyle Shanahan.
So do you think Trey Lance is going to throw like 60 touchdowns like these 49ers fans are saying?
No, I don't. No, I think Trey Lance is going to struggle this year. I absolutely think he's going to struggle this year. Here's what I think. I think if Trey Lance is just as good or even a little above Jimmy, I think Trey Lance will take us. I think our record will be just as close, and I could see us making it to the NFC Championship game. But depending on who we play against, we'll get beat out by a superior quarterback. Mm-hmm. But that's what I'm saying. Like, because, experience counts. I don't care. Experience counts. When you've been there and you've done that, experience counts. But it's like Trey Lance is better than Jimmy Garoppolo. So I don't think there's going to be the fall off that everyone thinks there's going to be because of the switch between Trey Lance and Jimmy Garoppolo. But I don't think we're going to the Super Bowl this year either because, again, Trey Lance is a rookie. So he's going to make mistakes. We have to go through the bumps and bruises with Trey Lance before we get to that level. That's what I think. And maybe Trey Lance will prove me wrong, but that's what I think.
Yeah, he'll have some struggles, but at the end of the day, it's the same feeling I had when Justin Fields had some bad games. I'll be like, yeah, he's a rookie. We'll give him a pass. He's learning. But when it comes to Justin Fields, I expect him to do better this year. when it comes to Trey Lance, I expect them to have some flashes, but I expect him to have some raw moments. But I think we'll judge him probably his second year starting. But this is his first year as the quarterback number 1 of the San Francisco 49ers.
And you have to remember too, the 49er fans are very passionate. So a lot of 49er fans, when Trey Lance makes mistakes, they're going to flip out. And like, you're going to have some 40, you're going to have some 49er fans that are going to be like, oh my God, did you see that? Trey Lance sucks. He's a bust. Oh my God, he's the worst quarterback ever. You know, because, you know, people don't know how to, it's ebb and flow. You know, people don't know how to be like, okay, you know, calm down. Like, it's all right. Like, you know what my hope is? My hope is that Trey Lance can see the wide open linebacker in the other jersey. That's all I hope. It's like, yo, that guy in the Bears jersey, don't throw it to him. He's not on your team. If that's Jimmy Garoppolo, he's throwing the ball. He's like, hey, Bears guy, open up your arms. I'm here. Shoo.
Even though Jimmy beat us, I feel like if Jimmy G were to be the starting, even though his shoulder is injured still, right?
Okay, there's 2 stories. Kyle said he was starting to throw, and then the last story that came out said he's been throwing for 2 weeks. So I either one. He's either starting to throw or he's been throwing for 2 weeks. So I don't know which one's true.
Because of that, shoulder is injured and he's starting week 1. He's not going to throw a ball past 5 yards. I mean, you saw how bad Big Ben was.
Yeah.
I mean, even though Big Ben was washed up that year, he was throwing with a bad shoulder. I think if Jimmy Garoppolo is going to start, you're going to have to put him on steroids.
Yeah, Jimmy Garoppolo's not going to. He's not starting. He is not going to be the starting quarterback of San Francisco 49ers. There's no way.
If he turns up in training camp, right, there's going to be riots, right? There's going to be so much controversy in the locker room, right? Do you mean it's going to be crazy? So we need to get rid of him before training camp starts. I think he's got to go. He's got to go as soon as he passes our physical. If what Denise is saying is right, and he's actually throwing a ball, then let's get him down at the medical. Let's get him passing the physical, because there's going to be. I mean, maybe somebody might still want him. Somebody like the Giants or I mean, I don't know about this, but the Bucks or whatever. We just need to get him out of there, because I do not want a quarterback controversy going on during training camp and putting Trey off when he should be concentrating on opening up Kyle Shanahan's playbook, instead of worrying about who's going to be starting week 1. We all know it should be Trey. So let's just cut Jimmy now. Just as soon as he can pass our physical, just get him cut him. Send him to the seal.
Yeah, one of the rumors is that, or what were they saying? Or I should say, one of the things that Colin Cowherd said that I actually do agree with is you can't have Jimmy there, because Trey Lance needs to be able to assert himself and be the leader of the locker room. And you can't have that with Jimmy Garoppolo there, because there's too many people, there's too many vets in the locker room that still like Jimmy. Even if they believe in Trey, it's not a matter of who they believe in. It's just a matter in they've been to battle with Jimmy and they respect Jimmy. So you can't have Jimmy in the locker room. He needs to go. Trey needs to be the number 1 quarterback. Jimmy needs to be out of the locker room. He needs to be gone. He needs to go away. Like, that's the end of the story. Like, Jimmy, bye. Thanks for what you did. Got to go. Pat him on his ass and send him out the door. That's what you're going to do.
And a question to Panama Queen's comment. I have not seen that video.
Yeah, I was about to bring you in there, Michael. Sorry, man. Sorry. What's up, Matt Pamela? How you been, girl? Doing good?
Panama Queen. Whoop, whoop. The Queen's in the building.
Put my thoughts on all this. Yes, they almost bought that game for some reason. I don't know why. I remember that game too. When Justin ran around and whew, I ran the whole defense. I couldn't believe that freaking shit. It drove me nuts.
Yeah, that made me have confidence in Justin Fields
Yeah,
when he scored that touchdown.
I believe he had confidence after that run.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, we got the ball.
Ryan Denise in the panel. Thank you, Amina. And of course, I know I missed a couple of them. Yep, I know I missed a couple of them. So, yeah, I know you might be answer yours, Denise. I know you got yours, right? That was yours.
What's
and 8 and 9 wins. I'll be there on for. I believe if Trey does do great, he'll get better than that. I think it's gonna be better. For me, that's just me. Nobody else, just me. So, and yes, I do believe Jimmy would have been out if we got Justin Fields. He would have been out. But
you know what's funny? I think that too. I think if we would have drafted a quarterback that had more experience than Trey, I think they would have got rid of Jimmy right away.
Right away. You all remember Kyle was. I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry.
No. I was just going to say, but we all know how Kyle is, and Kyle is one of those coaches that he has to have experience behind the. He wants an experienced quarterback. So because Trey was so raw, there was no way he was going to let Trey start year one.
Yeah, it's true. Y'all remember Kyle was cussing Jimmy out in the Bears game? I remember that. I do. I remember that.
No, not me.
Oh.
That's why Kyle has my heart. I love Kyle because that boy, when he gets pissed off, you can see it on his face, and he's cussing everybody out. And I'm like, that's right, Kyle. You tell him what's up. Because if I was a coach, I'd be yelling they'd be like, listen here, bitch. I'm like, that's right, homie. Don't play with me. I mean, knocking your big ass out. That's what's happening.
I mean, I have a message to all the 49ers, people that are calling me the new Domber and Rumble's chat. I mean, like, look, you're not facing. Look, I look at those people that are calling me the new Domber, and I just laugh. I'm like, you're not facing the Lions week 1. You're not facing the Lions. You're not facing a bottom 5 defense. You're actually facing a defense who is very promising with Kyle Gordon and Jaquan Brisker. The 2 picks that we got. I think they were very good pickups. And pass rushers, despite getting Khalil Mack, I'm high on Travis Gibson and Robert Quinn. I don't know what we're going to do with him, but I feel like
that Robert Quinn looks like a beast. Didn't he have like 18.5 sacks last year?
Yeah, he broke Richard Dett's record.
Yeah, he sounds like an animal.
So I don't see a problem with us with Robert Quinn, but if he doesn't show up in training camp, I think we should trade him. But I don't think that's going to be an issue.
You haven't got any other pass rushers over, really.
Mm-hmm.
You haven't. All your other pass rushers suck.
I think Christian. I think who was that? Edge rusher that sacked Big Ben, and we got called for that stupid taunting penalty for just looking at the sideline. I think his name was like Carshall Mosh. I think I saw some flashes when he was starting, when he was the backup to Travis Gibson when Khalil Mack was out for the season. And Robert Quinn, I think Mario Edwards was also Robert Quinn's backup as well. So I think the pass rushing should be fine, but the middle part is a questionable since we didn't re-sign Akeem Hicks. I was hoping we did, but we winded up didn't. The middle spot is a bunch of random people, but other than that, I don't see why everybody should probably, if Jimmy was starting, then you could say that then you can have a shot against the Bears. But with Trey, you don't know what you're getting.
Yeah, that's true. That is. I'll give you that. We don't know what we got with Trey yet.
You know what, Michael? Don't let it get to you that they call you the Don Burr of the Rombo show. Like, let's be honest.
I
Like,
love Domber. I like Domber. I've talked to Domber. I have. Do you mean I like Domber? Do you mean
it's like
so?
it's like they do that. They do that to everybody. They do that to everybody. So don't. Yeah, it is what it is, dude. It's all good. I used to call into that show all the time. I haven't called into that show, Michael, in so long, but yeah, I used to call in all the time. I used to get shit, and I'm a 49ers fan, so hey, there's that.
Did they call you the female Domber?
Oh no, they never called me that, honey. I used to get the word sometimes. Shit.
Michael, and CEO says by Nick Bosa is going to give the Bears O-line some devastating memories. What's your thoughts on that?
I believe Nick Bosa. I believe Nick Bosa is a key factor when it comes to the defense of the 49ers. Him and Trent Warner are the two keys, but majorly it's Nick Bosa. I have a feeling if we are going to contain Nick Bosa, you have to have Cody Whitehair and Lucas Patrick's on him. I don't know what we're doing. I think we should sign J.C. Carter. I'm surprised he hasn't been signed yet, but you have to have two of your. Yeah. I believe you have to have your best two linemen on Nick Bosa at all times. And the thing with Justin Fields is he's improving. Most of the sacks were on Justin Fields because he was holding on the ball for a period long of time. If you go look at the OTAs, you will see how Justin Fields throws the ball in a quick release. I believe I saw one of the plays where he threw the ball in 0.4 seconds.
That's some fast.
Yeah, that's honestly it's again, it's not going to be just about Trey. It's like our defense. Like you guys, it's like that's what you're really up against. It's going to be our D. Is like because we're just nasty, dude. We're just nasty. Like, Nick Bosa and All Pro Fred and
Michael,
our linebacker. It's like it's like, yeah, dude, we're just nasty.
Michael, are you worried, right, with putting two offensive linemen on Nick Bosa and then somebody like Eric Armstead or Javon Kinlaw spitting squirrel nuts everywhere as he's coming up the middle? Are you worried about them taking over? Why the double team Bosa? Because it's going to leave opportunities for them to come through. And obviously people like Kerry Hyder. I don't know if you know. Do you know who Kerry Hyder is?
No, but about that whole Javon Kinlaw, I'm going to be honest, I didn't know who he was until that Grant Cohn situation. I didn't know who Kinlaw was.
What about Eric Armstead?
Oh my God.
Eric Armstead, but no one's a huge pass rusher on that 49ers team besides Nick Bosa.
We moved Armstead inside now. We play him inside now. We do instead of the outside, and he is much better. Kerry Hyder, right? Last season he was on the Seahawks, but the year before he was on the San Francisco 49ers, and he recorded 8.5 sacks. He did, right, with Chris Kasurik looking after him. We have got people out there who's going to pass. You need to be worried about that front four. I swear.
Yeah.
Which I don't think we're going to be running up the middle a lot, which we did with Matt Nagy. We always ran up on the middle. Like that Rams game, I think it was in the 2020 where we had Nick Foles. He was I'm going to actually be honest, that drive Nick Foles was throwing the ball pretty well, but the problem was in the goal zone, Matt Nagy ran the ball to Aaron Donald, which Aaron Donald is a beast. He's one of the best defensive players I've ever seen in a long time. But I don't think we're going to run the ball up on the middle. I think if we're going to run the ball, we're going to try to have our fullback have extra blockage, or we're going to do like a possible pitch to Montgomery. I don't think we're going to run up the middle too much that game.
Who else worries you on the 49ers defense?
Besides Nick Bosa, Trent Warner.
Yeah. Dude, you got to love All Pro Fred. He's just, He's phenomenal.
I honestly, I would have taken Roquan and him in the same draft. Because honestly, Trevathan is washed, and I don't know why the Bears could have taken two middle linebackers like Roquan. I love Roquan Smith. I think he's one of the best middle linebackers in the NFL. But Fred Warner is I'm not saying when it comes to Fred Warner and Roquan Smith, I feel like they're in between. But I wish if I was the GM, I would have picked both of them.
Michael, what are you going to do when Kyle Juszczyk picks up Roquan and just dumps him into the turf?
Eddie Jackson will have a turn, and I don't know who is going to be our second middle linebacker. Nicholas Moe will have a turn. Jaquan Brisker will have a turn. Like Gavin, despite our defense losing a lot of key parts, we still have some key players. The only person I'm worried about on your offense is Debo. But I need to see more of Debo to be convinced, because I'm
serious. That's the only one you're worried about. Yeah,
because
we have way more to be worried about than just Debo.
Because Debo's a great yards after the catch on that 3rd and 12. I think it was 3rd and 20. Jimmy threw a short pass and Kittle almost took it all the way to the end zone. So I have a feeling that Debo's probably your best receiver so far. Ayuk.
But see, what you have to worry about now, and this is what no one's going to be expecting from the 49ers this year, and that's what's going to make us great, is now the one thing Trey Lance does have that Jimmy didn't have is Trey Lance can throw deep. And now we have Danny Gray, our speedster. So Danny Gray is going to open up the field. So Trey Lance is going to be able to be throwing bombs down the field where Jimmy Garoppolo couldn't do that. So that's what other teams are going to have to worry about now, is Kyle Shanahan's going to be able to open up the playbook now, because Trey Lance can actually throw the ball deep and throw the ball outside the numbers where Jimmy Garoppolo can't. So that short yardage game is going to change a lot this year, because Trey Lance is a totally different quarterback than Jimmy Garoppolo was.
I don't think they're going to have Trey Lance for a deep a lot, the Bears game.
I've got a funny feeling that Brandon Ayuk is probably, he's got a chance of being our number one receiver this year. With the way
I think Brandon Ayuk's going to have a breakout season. That's what I think.
Without doubt. He needs to start the season fast. He does. He needs to start the season fast and just keep it going. He does. But he has a legit shot at being a top 10 receiver this season, especially with all of the training he's been doing with Trey Lance in the offseason. And they're like twins, they are, those two are. Did you see the picture of him playing Madden the other week? And it was he swapped out Jimmy G for Trey Lance as his quarterback. I mean, that's his QB. Yep.
Jimmy Garoppolo's is out of that 49ers roster. He's actually on the Seahawks that roster.
And not only that, but Brandon Ayuk, and I know this only because I watched him because he was from Arizona State or from ASU, and because I live in Arizona, I watch some of their games. Let me be the one to tell you, Brandon Ayuk is a lot more talented than people think he is. He really is one of those receivers. He's a baller. He really is. If you go back and watch his college film, he actually is a baller.
One play when he hurdled it. What was that against? When he hurdled that player on the sideline for a touchdown. Oh, what a play that was. I can't remember who was against.
I can't remember who that was against either, but I know exactly what play you're talking about.
Yeah, he's a dog. He's an absolute dog.
Yeah, he really is. If you go back and watch, I mean, I know he's been in the league now 2 years, but I'm saying if you go back and watch any of his ASU film, Brandon, I know why Kyle Shanahan picked him. He really is a top receiver. He has the chance to be really elite. He just the problem is we didn't have the quarterback for him to shine. That's why I said Brandon Ayuk has a real chance to have a breakout season.
Wasn't it
with
hashtag
Traylon.
doghouse last year, Denise? Brandon Ayuk was in the doghouse. Can you remember that?
Oh my God. That is one thing I hate about our 49er fans is everyone's like, oh, Kyle Shanahan in his stupid doghouse. I'm like, dude, it's called coaching. If you piss the coach off and you're not doing what the coach wants, you get your ass sat on the bench. I would be the same way. Like if you're not doing what the coach wants and you're not practicing hard and you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, you get in trouble. It's like, it's called coaching. Like, hello? Like, and everyone's like, oh, Kyle Shanahan in his stupid doghouse. I'm like, dude, just because you're in the NFL doesn't mean you don't have to listen and you don't have to do what you're supposed to do. Like, it's like any other job. Like, if I didn't show up to my job or I didn't do what I was supposed to do, I'd be fired or I'd be written up or whatever. Same shit. Like, hello?
Yeah.
Like, I can't stand when people like dog on Kyle for that. I'm like, oh, he's so stupid with his doghouse mentality bullshit. I'm like, it's called coaching. Hello. Like, get your heads out of your ass.
Well, it seemed to have worked because as soon as he came out of the doghouse, he was on fire then for the second half of the season.
Right?
So,
and now him and Kyle actually have a decent relationship because they sat down, they talked it out, and now they have a good relationship. Well, because Kyle probably told him, look, Brandon, I ain't taking none of your shit. Like, get your head out of your ass. I don't care how good you are.
That's the type of attitude every coach should have. I think the same attitude should be with Robert Quinn. If I was dealing with Robert Quinn, I'm like, dude, you can either play for us and get paid, or you could sit down on your ass and don't get paid. I play. You get paid to play, not sit on your ass.
Exactly. Like, I think because people like fall in love with these players and they fall in love with everyone, they act like, oh, these players don't have to abide by the rules. They don't have to do what they're told. Yes, they get paid to play and they get paid millions of dollars to play, but this is their job. Like, if we didn't perform at our job, we would get in trouble. So why is it different just because they make millions of dollars and we don't? Like, it's the same shit. It's a job. Like, it's their job. And the coach is their boss. So, like, I just don't get people's mentality. I just don't understand.
Michael, I got a question for you.
Yes,
Do you still think the Bays will score 31 points past the 49ers on the opening game of the season? And if so, why?
That was one of my questions, Gav. He stole from me.
Sorry.
It's all good, Mike. You're good, man. Answer, bud.
Yeah.
I have a feeling with the shotgun offense, Justin Fields is open to be scoring points. But I'm a type of person that says, screw the field goals, get the touchdowns. I'm just that type of person. Screw the field goals, get the touchdown.
So where do you see these points coming from?
On the offense, of course, I don't think Trey Lance is going to throw a pick six because I don't feel like they're going to have Trey throw the ball much that game.
Yeah. So what weapons do you have on offense that we should be worried about?
Darnell Mooney.
Yeah. He's
And
a wide receiver, right? Yeah.
I don't know if you know, but I think he'll be the number 2. I think his name is Brian Pringle. The chip, the Mr. Potato Chip.
Mr.
Potato chip.
And
that's a good one.
You got Velus Jones Jr., who, despite being 25, I feel like he's going to prove all the people wrong. I think despite being 25, I feel like he could be a decent number 3 for us. I heard rumors that Luke Getsy really liked him when he was scouting him.
Are you excited about picking up Dante Pettis?
Yeah, I think he'll be a good def wide receiver for us.
My God.
He's not good. He's not good.
He's not, dude.
He's really not good. Do not put any expectations on him, Michael, whatsoever.
I don't have expectations. I just I just have expectations for him to be a water boy. That's all.
Did you guys pick him up?
Yeah, I did see like one film where Justin Fields threw a dart to Pettis in the end zone at OTAs.
Ooh. Don't get excited about that. Don't get excited about that.
I'm not. I expect
The problem with Pettis is he doesn't like to get hit. That's his problem. Like if he thinks he's going to get hit, like he will drop the ball. Like Pettis is a punk. He does not like to get hit. If he thinks he's going to get hit, he'll drop the ball.
I hope that's not the case. If we have to, he's a bench player for us. He's not going to be a starting player.
Yeah, I would not get excited. Like hopefully you have someone like an undrafted free agent or someone who can take his place. Like seriously, he is not the one. I am telling you right now. Like,
dude, at least he's better. At least he's better than Aquarius St. Brown. I hope I'm saying his name right.
Like, oh my god.
I mean, don't get me wrong. We still have till week 1 to sign players. I think we should probably sign Julio Jones or Will Fuller.
Oh.
Now I know about Pettis now. The only good thing came out from him for us is when he caught that touchdown from Jimmy against Steelers. I mean, help us win that game.
Thank you. I agree with you.
That's the only thing I see Pettis from us.
Yep.
And that was a dart. I give it to Jimmy for that. That was a dart.
Yep,
If it wasn't right in that little pocket, it would have been intercepted or knocked down, either one.
Yep. I agree with you. That's the one game I give Jimmy for bailing it. Like he cost us that game, but he also bailed us out of that game because he threw 5 interceptions.
Yeah, that could be true. He could go to special teams.
Don't put him on special teams. He'll fumble the ball on punt returns. He will. But not to us as well. Yeah, he's fumbled punt returns.
He's not going to be a returner. That's Khalil Herbert. That's going to be our returner.
Don't let him return.
Hello. You can't put Pettis on special teams. What did I just say? He doesn't like to get hit. Hello.
If you don't like getting hit, then why are you in the NFL?
That is true, Mike. That is true.
He needs the money because he's a punk. He needs to open a kitty farm. He needs to open a kitty farm. He likes
suck it up, dude. That we signed you up for a reason. We signed you to catch the ball, not to fall like laundry and be like, what did you expect when you caught the ball? The defender's just gonna be like, hey, come through, score the touchdown, Devontae Pettis. Come on, let's go, Devontae Pettis. We'll rally you up. Let's go, Devontae Pettis. They're gonna hit you. They're preventing you to go to the end zone. They're preventing you to catch the ball. You're gonna get hit.
Yeah, Dante Pettis is a punk. Like like I said, Jesus. He is Dante Pettis is softer than Charmin, okay?
And if you're going to be doing that the preseason, then don't expect us to pick when we finalize the roster. Don't be surprised if we don't pick you.
Right.
Got a good question for you, Mike.
All right.
Panama brings up a good thing right here. Good thing. The Bears will have the most cap space next year.
Absolutely.
Now, where do you want to put some of that money to?
The wide receiver, because I feel like we should probably. If I was a GM, I'll be picking up the Seattle phone and trying to trade for DK Metcalf. But since he's a free agent next year, I feel like they should go get him.
What about your crappy offensive line?
Offensive line. I feel like we're going to address that during the training camp because Dakota Keisler, our original right guard, was carted off, and there's still a lot of good linemen available. That JC Carter dude.
Trotter.
Yeah, Trotter. We should pick him up and move Lucas Patrick's to the right guard, and pretty much everybody can be re-signed. We'll just give him like a cheap 1-year deal to prove himself, and then if he doesn't want to re-sign, we get one of these draft prospects in the first round.
Yeah, I got you. Thanks for the answer, man. Thank you, Pamela, for that question. I see now. I'm like, I'm gonna ask him that myself because I know for a fact a lot of teams are begging for money and get their teams going, especially us. Because our wonderful situation with Jimmy. Now, no matter what, the first game it's gonna be a good game. I give Michael that. It's gonna be a good game.
Yes.
Now,
Oh, I think so too.
Yeah,
I
it
already
was,
said I think it's going to be a close game. I already said that. I think it's going to be a close game. I like 49er fans are like, oh, we're going to blow. No, it's going to be a close game because
Domber,
Trey Lance
Domber predicted
is
the 49ers would win 300-0. I'm not even kidding.
Don Burr predicted the Lions to sweep the Bears as well. I just want to say that.
Yeah, that's what separates me from Don Bird. I actually have it being a close competitive game. If I was the Don Bird, I'd be like, okay, we're putting 31-0 points on y'all. But unlike Don Bird, the 49, I know I know what team I'm facing. And to be honest, the 49ers do look like they could score many, many points. If they score 0, they're cursed.
yeah, right. No, I think it's going to be a very close game, and I think it's going to come down to the end. I think like it's going to be really tight, like either a field goal game or like a 1 point, you know what I mean, 1 point difference game between the Bears and the Niners. Like I definitely think it's going to be a tight game.
thank you for bringing them points up. Now, thank you very much. That's the next one. That was also good too. Out of the game for both sides of teams, who do you think to be our MVPs of the game? One each. You gotta have one each. Who do you think is gonna be?
For the Bears, I think the MVP of the game will be Justin Fields because if you remember, he was the MVP when we played the 49ers last year, and he did it with only the number one wide receiver being Darnell Mooney because I think Robinson was out that game. Maybe he was, but I think there was a couple of games where Robinson was injured, and Justin Fields had his coach out of the game. You know, he had a special teams coordinator calling plays because Matt Nagy tested positive for COVID that game, and the Bears, he did well with a special teams coordinator calling plays. As the 49ers MVP goes, I think it will probably be Elijah Mitchell because they're going to be running the ball a lot.
Denise, Mav. I mean, not Mav. Sorry, Gav. Sorry, I know I got two names in here now. Gav and Mav.
My MVP is if the 49ers, well, let me say, I'm sorry. What did I just say? Did I say if? Holy shit. I must be losing it. With the 49ers win, my MVP of the game is going to be Nick Bosa because if Justin Fields is on his ass the whole game, he can't throw the ball.
Unless Nick Bosa actually manages to sack him, but before he goes to the ground, he throws the ball right away.
Yeah, so that's my MVP, Nick Bosa, baby.
Dancing, Denise, dancing, girl. Please. What do you got, Gav?
Right, so I'm gonna look at it from both perspectives. So if the Bears win, their MVP is probably gonna be Justin Fields. It's gonna be Justin Fields, like Michael said, and yeah, I think if he's the key to them winning, maybe he's got a little bit more experience than Trey Lance in the league, so he pips in there. We've seen more Justin Fields, or there's less film. Trey Lance, so that sort of works in his favor as well. It's a toss-up, but yeah, definitely for the Bears, it's going to be Justin Fields. Right? For the 49ers, it's going to be Kyle Juszczyk. He's just going to run across the field, right in the air, dump Roquan, right, dumping Roquan straight in the grass. I've been telling you for weeks now, Michael. He's going to dump
I
it
knew
straight
you
in
were
the
going to say
grass.
that, Gavin. Look, Gavin.
MVP.
I wouldn't be surprised you have a Kyle Juszczyk poster in your bedroom.
I've got one on order. I have.
Probably have it. You're probably wearing his jersey right now, Gavin.
No, I'm buying my first ever 49ers jersey at the end of this month now. In the next 2 weeks, I am. I'm getting a Juice jersey. Yeah, I am. Yeah, I'm getting a game day. I am. Yeah. Club 44. Let's go. Yeah. You know me, bro. Yeah.
What's up, Carcast? What's up? What's up, y'all? Pamela said, good choice. I guess she's talking about you, Denise.
Denise, yeah.
Yep. I need to get into this one time.
Carcass. Shout out Carcass. He's a good guy, Carcass. He's help out for Carcass any day. Yeah. He's a cool dude.
Doing all good, man. We're doing good, having fun. You know?
Maybe we can get him in for next week or something, Ryan.
Carcast, I don't know how to get hold of him. I don't know if he's Carcast.
I got Carcast on Twitter. I'll look you up. I'll look you up.
All right, cool. On the field, on the Bears, got Fields. Me, I got Fields on, of course, on Bears, and of course, man, I'm talking with two of them. Man, I want Trey Lance to shine so much on that first game. I really do. But like Denise said, I gotta go for Denise. Come on, you stole it. You stole it from me. You stole it. You knew exactly what I was thinking of. Come on. You stole it. But now I want to do a little fun exercise. Okay, I thought about it, and I don't know how I'm gonna bring this up. Over and unders. Now I'm going by quarterback first, since they're actually the highlights of the game between Trey Lance and of course Justin Fields. Who has most touchdown throws in that game?
I feel like it'll be Fields because Fields has more experience than.
I'm sorry, Michael. I need to shut up. Go ahead. I apologize.
I feel like it's going to be Fields because they're not going to just think about it for a second before anybody says anything. They're not going to have Trey throw a lot of the game because they know it's his first game as a quarterback number one. They're going to play it safe. So when it comes to who will have the more passing touchdowns, it's going to be Fields. All right.
Denise, go ahead.
I agree with Michael 100% because Kyle likes to run the ball. It'll be Trey Lance's first game. I believe that Justin Fields will have more throwing touchdowns than Trey Lance. I'm hoping we have more touchdowns than the Bears because I want us to win the game. But I believe that Justin Fields will have more throwing touchdowns than Trey Lance because Kyle's going to run the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Good, Gav.
First off, I want to shout out to Giants Nation. What's up, bro? How are you, my fine friend? I hope you're good. I hope you're well in New York, my friend. But I think it'll be Justin Fields as well. Justin Fields got more experience, like Michael said, and we know what we got with Justin Fields. Whereas we're definitely going to be running the ball, without a doubt. So yeah, Justin Fields.
I hate to say it, but Justin Fields, because I know we're going to be running the ball. So that was actually bounce off the next one. Overall, for all purposes, who has a better running game out of both of them?
I feel like the Niners will.
Denise?
The Niners, definitely.
Gav?
Oh, yeah, mate. Reduce opening up holes for Elijah Mitchell to burst through, dumping Roquan on his butt. Do you mean? We're going to.
Okay. All right. Now, I think it'd be a fun one, too, about the receiving core on both sides. Who has a better receiving core out of both sides?
The 49ers do, but I wouldn't be shocked if the Bears receiving core winds up having a better game than the 49ers receiving core because they're not going to throw the ball. They're going to wind up running it. But if I had to pick a receiving core, it would probably be the 49ers receiving core.
Denise?
Well, duh. Of course, the 49ers.
I had to put a curveball on there somewhere, you know. Yeah, Gav. I had to do it. Gav, you still there? Gav, hello. Uh-oh, lost Gav. Oh. God, Gav. Darn internet.
I know,
Okay.
right?
Oh man. Okay, now I know this would be a good one because I know we struggled for the last 3 years, and you should notice, Denise. Special teams. Who has the better special teams out of the game?
Kind of tough.
Yeah, I know. That's what I
It's a
said.
tough-
We had bad last 3 years. We had bad one.
I feel like it will be the 49ers because I wouldn't be surprised if the 49ers don't get many touchdowns because they're not going to have Trey throw the ball. I feel like if it's Justin Fields, I don't feel like we're barely going to see the special teams come out there when it comes to Justin Fields. But I feel like the 49ers will have the upper hand.
I got you. Denise?
Yeah, that honestly is a really tough question because our I mean, Kyle did get a new special teams coach who's hopefully going to turn around our special teams unit. So I'm going to say hopefully the 49ers, but yeah, our special teams unit like sucks. So,
That's because Robbie Gold. I love Robbie Gold. Don't get me wrong. He's a former Bear. He's washed.
yeah, God, it's like, well, everyone says that, but like Robbie Gold, like it's like I don't know if he's so much like my thing is what worries me is like, and it's funny because like I was surprised like that we did not draft. No one wants to draft a kicker, you know what I mean? Like, because they're not exciting, right? Like, who wants to draft a kicker? Because like,
I mean, the funniest thing when Robbie Gold did was when he kicked that game winner against the Packers in the divisional game. He went up to Jimmy Garoppolo, be like, "Yeah, fuck the Packers."
I know, I love that, but it's like the thing is like we don't have a succession plan. I can't speak. Sorry, we don't have a plan after Robbie. So like that's what worries me is like I know no one wants to draft a kicker because it's not exciting, but like what's our plan after Robbie? Like we need a plan. Like we don't have one. Like yeah.
Doesn't Table Pepper go into free agency this year as well? The long snapper. I know he's not much. I know he's only on like $300K a year, but the 49ers long snapper could be going into free agency as well. He could. So, and I know it's Mitch Wisnowski's last year as well. We've just auto renewed his contract or something. I don't know, something like that. He's definitely coming back next the year after Mitch's, but we're not sure on Tabor and Robbie Gould.
And I want to bounce off with Panama Queen on that. Yes, because Coach Ron from Red and Gold 24/7 even said he wanted a kicker in the draft. So yes, I agree with that 100% there, Panama. I do.
No,
we
Panama.
Panama.
That's what I'm saying. I was saying this past draft, I was surprised we did not draft a kicker, and no one wanted to draft a kicker. I know it's not exciting, but we need a kicker. We need a kicker. Hello. Like I know it's not exciting, but we need a kicker.
Robbie Gould was injured most of the season last year. He was out most of the year. Robbie Gould was.
Yeah, and
I love Robbie Gould, but he's up there in age.
Exactly.
The best ability is availability.
And we need to draft a kicker, and no one they're like, "Oh, you're stupid." It's like, who wants to draft a kicker? Like, I'm like, I know it's not exciting, but you need a kicker. Like, sometimes that's how you win the game. Like
the same people that call me the Chicago Bears Domber, so I'm not surprised they slandered you on that.
Just ask Vinatieri and the Patriots.
Okay.
Kickers are people too. Kickers are people too.
Right?
And before anybody says that special teams don't matter, special teams cost Green Bay the divisional round.
Yeah, well, we've addressed our special teams in the off-season. We have, Michael, we've brought in a new special teams coach. We got Dan Schneider. He had 10 years with the Seahawks, he did, and when he was there, they were ranked number 1 in takeaways, they were. So he's going to be there. We've got Ray McLeod coming in. Have we seen his punt return highlights, Michael?
Mm-hmm.
Have we seen it? If we haven't, I can look you up, right? Because some of them are electric. You have got to watch this guy returning punts, returning kicks. I swear. Yeah. So we've addressed our special teams we have. Plus we got Ayuk as well. He can return punts as well. And so it was 30% of the game. 30% of the game special teams is. So it's a
Weren't
phase
we
of the play.
weren't we dead last year in special teams?
Something like
Weren't
that.
we ranked dead
We were
last?
super low. We were super low. Yeah, either last or last but one. Something like that we was.
Yeah, we were horrible. Horrible.
Yeah, we were in 29, 30, 31 around there somewhere. That's
Yeah,
how
I've
bad
been
we were.
watching me some Ray McLeod highlights, and that guy gets me excited. Don't
So
sleep on him.
Gav, I guess you heard my next one about
What?
our special teams. That was the next one. Who do you think has better special teams in that game? Since we sucked the last 3 years. We sucked the last 3 years, so.
Well, there's a real. Well, I just obviously went through a lot of stuff doing that's relevant to this question. So I still put it with the Bears because they got more experience there. And our special teams notoriously sucks. So yeah, I'm definitely. I probably will give it with the Bears. I'm sorry, I have to be honest. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, that I said that was a tough question because we're just horrible. Like I hope that our new coach turns us around. But yeah,
that's like that. Yeah.
So basically, I guess the last one for that game I'm thinking of. I know it's too early. I'm going to do it for fun. Score predictions for that game. I know I'm probably going to do it again when we do the game, but do an early one.
I will probably get backlash for this since I said 31. So 31, 29.
To the 49ers. To the 49ers.
That's not a Domber prediction. That's not that's a Chicago sports talk prediction. Because if I was Domber, I'd be like, "Oh, my score prediction is 300 Bears, 0 49ers." No. I know what I'm facing. I know my shit. I'm not Domber.
Domber over everybody. Denise, what's your score predictions?
I'm gonna say 27-24. 49ers.
Gav?
I think we're coming out firing. Right? And the only way they score 31 points against us is if we've scored like 45 or something ridiculous, right? So yeah, I'm gonna say it's gonna be a close-ish game, low scoring, because it's just gonna be run heavy from the 49ers, and our defense will stop them, stuff them. So yes, I say something like 17-12, something like that, something low scoring. Because it'll be a nervy game. It's a home opener. Both teams want to win. So, yeah, I'm predicting a low-scoring game, I am. But, yeah, I think it'll be comfortably 49ers. Like, something like 17-12, something like that. 17-13, maybe, something like that.
Yeah, I couldn't hear you, Gav. I'm sorry. My daughter's
Yeah,
going
17-12, 17-13, something like that, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. Something low-scoring. It's a nervy home opener.
Yeah. Gavin, Panama Queen agrees with you. She said it's going to be a defensive game.
Yeah, exactly. So in games like that, there's never many points. So yeah, I'm seeing a low-scoring game. I am personally. I don't see that. That's why I couldn't see the 31 points. That's why I couldn't see the logic. Yeah, that's my prediction anyway.
Mine is, and yes, I am making a special one actually. Because if our defense shows up and they do some amazing stuff, I hope we're all healthy by then. I don't know if you guys like this or not, but I'm going to enjoy it. I say the Bears will score 10 points. And we score at least 30. I'm giving them that. Because if Jimmy is still on the team, that's going to be one hell of a story for Jimmy and Chicago, because that's where he's from.
The only way the Bears, if Jimmy starts, the only way the Bears like lose that game is if Justin Fields throws like 2 pick sixes, or Jimmy Garoppolo takes steroids.
Oh, that's awesome.
But
I
yeah,
just imagine a beefed up Jimmy I can now with all his veins bulging and that chin, just his chin sticking out from the big neck. Yeah.
Can you imagine
Never
Jimmy
seen that.
Garoppolo Jimmy Garoppolo in the whole body?
yeah. So mine's 27-30 for our score, and they don't score more than 10 points. So I'll give them that. That's just me. So I believe in that much. So
Let's go night out.
That's right. Hey, Michael, if you want to shoot off me, you can. All right. I thank you very much for coming on here, and thank you, and for answering the call from Gavin.
Yeah, I think the real person I should be thanking is Mr. Notorious G. V.
No way. Michael, oh, I love you to bits, bro. You're a good guy. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure today, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Michael, it was a pleasure meeting you and talking with you. You've been great.
Yeah,
Thanks.
I'm going to drop out now as well. I am, guys. Is that okay?
No problem.
Yeah.
You guys all can go if you want. Go ahead.
Right, yeah. Okay. Right. Thank you very much for the show, Dwayne. It's been an absolute pleasure. Michael, Denise, Ryan, absolute pleasure. Give me a shout anytime you guys need me to fill in. We'll sort out. I'll DM you now with Carcast info. I will, Ryan. I'll DM you with Carcast info, and we'll sort that out for next week or whatever. Right?
All right. I got you,
Michael, thank you very much for doing this for us.
Thanks,
Thank you
Gav.
very much. Right, thank you. Bye, guys.
Right, no problem.
Thanks, guys.
Later on,
Before I leave, my Chicago Sports Talk Michael is my YouTube channel.
Oh, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, shout out your. I'm sorry, but I should have told you to shout out your where you Twitter handle and everything. That's how you find them. Chicago Sports Talk Michael. That's Twitter handle. All right, guys.
All right, thank you all
for
watching.
No problem. Have a good day, guys.
Cool.
Enjoy the rest
Have
of
a
the
good
day.
day.
You too. Hey, now what's the show? All right. First, I'm gonna start with of course, the wonderful. I got noise in the background, my kids. So excuse me. I hope you can hear me. But comments, of course, Pamela. Thank you so much, girl, for coming here. Thank you. Of course, CEO. Thank you, bud. Thank you. Good comment. And Carcast. I knew I had another one there. Carcast. Thanks a lot, bud. Thank you for coming here. Thank you. Thank you all very much for your comments. Really, thank you. It's gonna be one hell of a game, the first game. And I think I just throw little curveballs in there, for fun, just for fun, So basically, I know there's 3 of us watching, so I'm gonna try to be loud as I can so you guys can hear me instead of my daughter. But yes, definitely give thank you for Denise and Gavin and Gavin grabbing of course Michael. I know I had nothing written down for Michael, but you can. I think it was Chicago Sports Talk. Yeah, Chicago Sports Talk with Michael. All right, that's how you can find him. All right. So I just want to give a shout out to my fellas, of course, and I'll do it this way. Money Mav on the convo with Mavicado, and that's his Twitter handle. That's times. It's on Tuesdays, on YouTube, Tuesday nights on YouTube and IG. And of course, I know Mav is still doing his. Pretty much, I know he's doing his. He's only doing his Tuesdays, but I'm not always on because I'm always at work. So, but That in Our Life, Coach Ron, he's not doing his right now because he's taking some time off until training camp. So, and I like to do that every time I do a show. That way, everybody knows. It keeps them up, keep you updated, So, but yeah, that's the times that he does his on Monday nights on YouTube and Twitter. All right, and of course, by the podcast. That's his name of his new show coming. Okay, it's coming soon. We call him Drewski, and that's his Twitter handle. All right. And of course, I want to give a shout out to, of course, GM Mikey, and that's his Twitter handle. All right. He's all great guys. And of course, TJ, our 6th guy. So that's his Twitter handle. All very great guys. So let me see here. I changed a couple things. There you go. And of course, you catch Denise. Okay, that's her Twitter handle. All right. Great woman. She's a nice woman. She talks her content. I'm so glad she does it, And of course, Gavin. All right, Notorious Gav. All right, that's how you follow him. He's a great guy. He really is. And he's from Wales. He's from Wales. Or Welsh. Wales. I know it's in UK. But he's a great guy, though. So, Paul Hope, 49 Faithful UK. All right. And they're on Thursdays. Just so you know, they're on Thursdays at Club 85. And of course, Nick didn't have one this week, but I hope he'll have one. I hope he'll start next week, hopefully. If not, he'll probably definitely be back by training camp. So, the Shank Club NFL, and that's his Twitter handle, and it's times, and it's on Saturdays on YouTube. All right. And I'm going to give this shout out to, of course, Ashley. I know he hasn't been around for a while, but he's doing some teaching stuff. So, shout out to you, Ashley, and that's his Twitter handle. All right. And, of course, I want to give a special shout out to, let me see here. Of course, I got everything popping up on me, you know? Oh, my goodness. Sorry, people, sorry. Sorry, people, sorry. There you go. Yeah, shout out definitely to Nick Welsh. Nick Welsh, I want him to special shout out. He said he's taking a break from the show. I understand that. It's not even training camp yet, so he's taking a break off for Nick Welsh. So he said he'll be back. All right, he'll be back. All right. So basically, I just want to keep the show going. You know, keep everything going on a side burner until we start up training camp and keep this guy going, so we can go to chemistry for everybody. You know. So I'm sorry about the noise in the background, and that's all I got for you, and pretty much all done. So we will be back definitely by next Friday, hopefully, with another episode. We'll be all good to go. All right? All right. Keep the faith. Never lose hope, faithful. All right? We're out of here. Later.